this little chapel on the boulevard we can go. No one will know. Oh, come on, girl. Who cares if we're trash? Got a pocket full of cash. We can...
Dinner's done. The slideshow's done. We're just about ready to do the love story and then get into the first dances, and then it's dancing all night. This family and crowd's pretty amazing, and I'm having a blast. Everybody's having a great time, and we're going to party it up here later.
For two people, a series of events, both fortunate and unfortunate, would bring them together, first as friends and confidants, and finally as soulmates. We have come together today to celebrate the love and marriage of Colleen and Matt. Earlier today, we listened as they made their first promises to each other and sealed them with a first kiss as husband and wife. In a few moments, we will witness their first in a lifetime of dances together as a married couple. However, before there was a wedding date, before there was a perfect bouquet of flowers, before there was a beautiful ring on Colleen's left hand, there was a story. This is Matt and Colleen's love story. In the summer of 2005, Matt and his college friends decided to spend the day having some fun. Matt's friend Benny was a fraternity brother to some and a hometown friend to others in their close-knit group. They partied, grilled out, and went fishing. On a hot day that summer, Benny, Tom Connell, and their friend Doe and Matt decided to have a fish fry. When Ben showed up at the house, he had a gorgeous woman with him, his girlfriend Colleen. Benny introduced Matt and Colleen, and then proceeded to fry up some fish. After the fish were cooked, Ben promptly stuck the very hot frying pan into cold running water. The house quickly filled with a very fishy-smelling smoke, which sent them all laughing outdoors into the fresh air. It was only one of many fond and hilarious moments shared with Benny. It was also the official first meeting for Matt and Colleen, and had a fun-filled day they would never forget. Just a few short months later, on September 1st, Benny passed away. Colleen and Matt grieved in the only way they knew how, to lean on people who knew and loved Benny as much as they did. They supported each other. During the next 5 years, Colleen and Matt's friendship grew stronger and stronger. They became each other's go-to person in life. While neither of them dreamed they would have ever become a couple, life would change for both of them during a casual meetup five years later. On a Thursday night in 2012, Matt had just finished coaching a baseball game and heard that Colleen had recently moved to town. He decided to send her a text message to see if she was interested in grabbing a drink and catching up. Colleen agreed, and they met at Smokey's Bar and Grill while Matt was in the middle of a doubles pool game with his 3 younger brothers. Colleen and Matt spent the evening catching up and eventually made their way downtown to see other friends. There was a live band playing, and somehow Matt and Colleen ended up on the dance floor. And that is where everything changed. Whether it was a spark or a click or fate, since that night, Matt and Colleen have never looked back. It may have been unexpected, but for them, it felt like one of those star alignment moments. It just made sense. Colleen knew Matt was perfect for her because he was so patient. She fell more in love with him each passing day. While it took some time for Colleen to grow comfortable sharing her life with Matt and still maintaining her independence, she knew Matt was the man for her. She felt like she could be herself with him, and he loved her for exactly who she was. But most importantly, Matt allowed Colleen to grow as an individual and encouraged it. Colleen knew she would marry Matt the second she called him her boyfriend. There was no going back, and she has been happy ever since. For Matt, it was one special moment that made him realize Colleen was his number one. Matt was helping Colleen move, and they drove down to her parents' house in Madison. Matt was nervous because they still hadn't decided if they were really dating or not, and it was his first time meeting Colleen's mother. On the drive there, Matt vividly remembers Colleen jamming out and singing like she hadn't a care in the world whenever Dave Matthews came on the radio. Matt thought to himself, "Look how pretty this girl is. She seems so happy and peaceful." It made Matt smile to think how he played a small part in her happiness. Colleen and Matt were certainly on the same page and knew they were going to spend their lives together. The only thing left to do was ask the big question. Matt purchased the ring the day before, but had no idea when or how he was going to ask Colleen to marry him. He woke up the next morning and had just And as he stared at the ring, he realized there was absolutely no way he could stand the mental strain of looking at that ring day in and day out while trying to plan something elaborate. His ADHD simply wouldn't allow it. So Matt decided right then and there that it would have to be that very night. Matt called his dad and had him come by the house so he could tell him his plan and show him the ring. He then called his mom at work. Matt's roommate Joe was sitting on the couch when Matt got back to the house, so he told him to. They were the only people in the world who knew it was coming. Now, Matt had the task of asking Colleen's parents for permission to marry their daughter, so he called them around 1 p.m. No answer. Okay, that's pretty logical. It's only 1 p.m. on a weekday. People work. He would call again at 5. Matt made a 6:30 reservation at Colleen's favorite downtown eatery, Pizza Amore, for that evening. She wanted an emerald engagement ring, and Matt decided to have fun with that. He bought a bouquet of white lilies with a single green rose in the middle. Around 4:30 p.m., Matt texted Colleen asking if she felt like having dinner. Matt drove down to the restaurant at 5 and dropped off the flowers. Before he went in, he decided to call her parents again. No answer. Matt left a voicemail this time. He started to get a little worried because he certainly wasn't going to ask Colleen to marry him without her parents' permission. So he did the only logical thing there was to do. He went down the street to the Animal House and took a shot of Polish and had an old-fashioned. 5:45 rolled around and his phone rang. It was her parents. Matt took a deep breath and told them how amazing their daughter was, how happy she made him, and how honored he would be if they would approve him asking Colleen to marry him. They said yes. When Matt and Colleen sat down for dinner, Matt thought Colleen looked incredible. But in all honesty, he couldn't remember a single thing they talked about because he was so worried about how to ask the question. The restaurant was so busy and there was so very little room between the tables, he was worried he would kick somebody or that he would trip himself as he tried to get down on one knee. But finally, Matt just took a deep breath and said, go for it. Matt got down on one knee, took out the ring, and asked Colleen to be his wife, to which she happily said, yes! Colleen cried, the room applauded. It was an incredible night. In Colleen's own words, she says, Matt is the most caring and loving person I know. He has been my go-to person for the past 8 years, and if I needed a shoulder to cry on, he was it. Basically, if anything out of the ordinary went on in our lives, we went to each other. We have seen each other cry, smile, laugh, fall in and out of love with others, heartbroken, devastated, you name it. Matt and I have been through it together. I am more in love with him today than ever, and I know that our love will continue to grow as we grow. Matt is truly my best friend, my buddy, my go-to person, my confidant, my lover. He is everything to me. He is the most important person to me, and I wouldn't be where I am or who I am today without him. I love you, Matt, and I'm so excited to spend my life with you. End quote. Matt says of Colleen, I admire everything about this girl. She is so determined in everything she does. When she sets her mind to something, she just makes it happen. This entire wedding, for example, is all of her hard work. She made it happen while working and going to school full-time. She's a true inspiration for me. She supports my crazy obsessions of becoming a college baseball coach and comic nerd without flinching. She can handle my sometimes irrational logic without blinking and still loves me when I won't admit that I'm wrong, and she's right. It happens way more than I'd ever admit. She loves me unconditionally. I mean, let's face it, after being as close as we've been for so long, she knows pretty much everything, and it's not all pretty. We may get heated sometimes, like every relationship, but she never wavers. In terms of finding resolve and moving forward, I don't know where I'd be without her. I do know that my world is 100% better because she is here, with me. I can't imagine life without her. She's been my rock for years, and we've made it through it all together. That's what makes her my number one. I love you with all my heart, Colleen, and I'm proud to stand next to you today as your husband. So here we are, celebrating their love and lives, celebrating an amazing friendship that has become now an amazing marriage. We are here with their dearest friends and family to laugh, to cry, to celebrate, as we wish them all the best in life that has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt and Colleen.
Stronger than it's ever been. We've come so far since that day, and I thought I Now you're my whole life. Now you're my whole world. I just can't believe